What's up, guys? So far, so good. Yeah, it's not like Diablo too, but so far, so good. Pretty fucking cool. Oh man. I've been so fucking tired. I didn't really eat that much. And yesterday I was pretty good. I did stay up a while yesterday. Thing is, I did woke up pretty fucking early. I woke up like 10, I went to bed like 5:30 or almost 6. I don't know. Maybe it's just winter time. Winter time makes you sleep more. I want to be outside. Yeah. Yeah, hello. You got something to talk about today. Always something. Try to keep things more interesting. Yeah, it's about work and that. one of the people at work, so we were sitting there working on that, and then one of our closers, sit there, and we were just cleaning up a little bit of stuff and that, because we were up and down with service and that, and maybe off and on. And he noticed that one of the spots was really like dirty mat from all the syrup and stuff. So we're just sitting there. He was kind of like, dude, there's a lot of syrup here. And I was like, whoever made this mess in that or whatever didn't clean it up. Because we don't get a lot of syrupy drinks and that during our time. I mean, stuff happens and that messes do happen. But like, he had to move stuff around. He had to pull out all the syrups and that. It was all underneath and that. I mean, they drip and that, I guess, So we were just sitting there and he was just like, someone didn't clean this stuff up. So like, okay, so my manager, he took a picture of it and he sent it to the other drive-through person that just left. They left at like 10 or something like that. And he was, telling the person, like, hey, it's like, next time, wipe off your station before you leave, because, there was a mess over there, and something was there for a little bit, and it was, like, stuck to it. It was hardened. Sugar takes time to harden, and he was just trying to reply to her, and she didn't reply the way that you would reply as a person. Be like, hey, it's like, okay, next time I go in there now, I just didn't notice and that, next time I'll clean it up and that, and just be like that, and like, instead of doing that, the person was trying to ignore that it was there in the first place to a certain extent. I'm like, well, he's just telling you to clean your station before you leave. You have to wipe stuff down. You have to wipe down all the stuff and that. It's just what you do. It's what we all do. We all clean our station before we leave. And the person was saying. She was saying about, well, that's the closer's stuff, and I'm like, no, you're supposed to do that before you leave. In general, you're supposed to keep it clean because it doesn't want to make it worse. It's like what's it called? It's like surface cleaning type stuff. You just gotta keep it clean so it doesn't get any dirtier than what it is. It's like a team effort. And so, I'm kind of coaching him on, basically, I'm trying to coach him a little bit here and there. I'm trying to be fair. I'm not trying to like negative that, taking favorites of that. I'm just saying, well, she just needs to fulfill her job. That's all it is. She does it really well, she does that. She does like being critiqued. She doesn't want anyone to critique her stuff. And so she was, kind of like arguing with him about a simple task of cleaning. I was like, oh, okay. And he was kind of like asking me, like, what should I say to her, and stuff like that. Kind of like you getting like input. You put it in his own words, and we want input in that. I like just keep on telling her like anything. Like, I'm your boss, and I'm just trying to tell you that next time you leave, and that's just to clean up your mess. That's it. And and this person kept going off and on and trying to overly explain things because for some reason it's like life or death situation. You know, don't criticize me because I don't do nothing wrong and blah blah blah. I'm like, no. It's not that you do stuff wrong. Like you do stuff wrong now because you're arguing with me. So, I got, you know, some policy, like little bullshit things, kind of people do stuff that we have to do now. And we all kind of do stuff and we all talk about it. And all it was, that, you know, we got stuck in the line. It's basic shit. You actually do a line before you leave. You actually do a line first. And that's all it was. Way. I was like, no, well, you gotta stop doing that. You know, you get all like mad at that. I'm like, well, why are you getting so mad? And then one of the things that this person stated that, you know, she believed that she was being attacked. I'm like, why do you think you're being attacked? You act like that that no one can tell you what to do. I'm like, this is the real world. This ain't like playing video games now where you're playing out the main character now that you think that you're a main character. I get that people have that kind of main character thing. They believe that, you know, certain things and that, you know, that's fine, but like, it's not real life though. This is real life. Real life is right here. You're gonna be told what to do. You can't sit there like, you can't do that. Like, we're telling you, no. You know, if you help clean some of that, and that's what it is. We're having problems with people doing their jobs before they leave. The last hour, they get lazy as fuck. You don't want to do dishes, you know, because it should be a combination. People should keep up with stuff, not just sit there and when the main job's done, just be on your phone. And that's what they intentionally do. They're just on their phone and then like nothing else matters because the main job's done. I'm like, the main job can be done, but you still have to do the secondary job, which is basically just making sure stuff's neat and clean now, because it is a food place, you know. It starts to stink and shit because we don't have, you know, it clean. Just simple facts, you know, we're just trying to keep up with stuff. And that's all we're trying to do. You know, this person was, you know, getting frustrated with it. I'm like, you're getting frustrated because you got caught. That's why you're getting frustrated. That's the main reason why you're getting frustrated. Because you got caught with something. And that's causing you to like be like go in panic mode, and then you're freaking out about it. And like, well, you can't freak out about it. Damage enemy with the base attack, grants 4% attack speed. Okay. That's the one I should have my bike out of. But yeah, it was just little things and that, and like the person kept getting upset about it, and I'm like, that's pretty good though. I'm like, why are you getting so fucking upset? You have to stop getting upset. Like, this is what makes it fucking stupid. Like, like, why are you getting so frustrated over something that everybody has to deal with? And you're like, oh my god, I can't. Like, you're fucking just flipping shit over absolutely fucking nothing. And then you're getting fucking mad because things don't go your fucking way. You know, like, dude, this is real life, man. This shit's real life. This ain't fucking high school drama, man. This is real life. They want to make it high school drama. I'm like, stop making it high school drama. No, that just pisses people off even more because they're sitting there like, dude, I don't want to fucking hear your bullshit. I don't want to hear your drama.
Such poor equipment.
Drama's fucking
Let me help.
You know, and then people would sit there and they'll sit there and be like, oh my god, but you're just outrageously annoying. Please stop being stupid. No one likes that shit. Literally, no one likes massive amount of fucking drama. It's just too much bullshit. And it's too much crap to deal with, too. And so it was like an hour and a half, dude. This person was just talking that, and he was trying to explain to her, like, I was telling you what to do next time, that's all I'm telling you. And he had to go in depth from that and be like, hey, you know, like, I'm your boss, and that you have to, you know, like, I don't know why you don't understand. I'm just coaching you on the stuff that you're doing wrong. And you're getting so furious with it. Like, why are you getting so mad? You're so fucking mad. You're getting so mad with it. I think to myself, was I ever that bad when I was I don't think I was that bad. You have to be criticized. You have to be Everybody's fucking criticized with stuff they do. That's just the basics. How it is. Like, maybe because I'm older than that and I see it from a different perspective. But like, this person has a lot of hate at all. I mean, it could be because you're hanging out with them now. You don't actually have a good friend. You know, some people are like that. Some people, you know, you think that someone's your friend. No. Evil, wicked people like to keep people closer to you, though. There's such thing as just wicked people that want to use it. And they fucking will. And they'll keep on using it. And then when you're sitting there, when you start to struggle and shit, and you all use each other and when someone stops using you, you start sitting there understanding that people really don't because some people just don't
couldn't have made it without you.
Some ones that care want to coerce you, and the ones who not coerce you. And they want to say, you know, people that actually care don't do that shit. Actually want to. That's the main problem. Like, it's called obeying, you know. Everybody has to obey something. You have to obey each food. You like certain foods, you like to eat out fucking trash. Some people like to eat trash. Some people like to eat out trash all the time. You don't have no problem. I got way too much shit. Is this the name of the game? Is this how it is? That's good. Resolve stats. Check the code. But yeah, it was just something stupid. I mean, like, the bulk of the conversation was just her trying to make excuses for just a simple thing of fooling. Like, oh no, I got caught. Yeah, that's what happens when you get caught with something. You're used to lying your way out of it. That's why you don't like it, because you're used to being caught, and then you smoke all the drugs and have to try to alleviate it through drugs, alleviate it through actual discipline. Yeah, it was my fault. Okay, I'm gonna try to do better next time. Oh, my fault. Oh my god, they found out. Yeah, that's what liars do. That's why when I'm gonna bring up the word of God. That's why Jesus talks about lying is bad. All that stuff is bad because it corrupts you. Once you lie, you're gonna lie about everything. You're gonna lie about cheating. You're gonna lie about I didn't do that. You're gonna start going through all these sins because lying is what makes all sins look like nothing happened. You start making up excuses for your wrongdoing, which makes you a wicked person. And being wicked is terrible. Your life sucks. That's why people rely on drugs, because they know they can get away with stress. Stress is a common courtesy of guiltiness. When you stress out, you're supposed to resolve it by learning not to do it. But people don't do that nowadays. They resolve it by smoking weed. They're like, I stress out. Now you stress out because you do stupid shit. You stop doing stupid shit. And it's not the hardest thing in the world. The dumbest of fucking people can learn that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with being stupid. There's nothing wrong with not knowing things. But when someone tells you something, they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. It could be their job. Well, yeah, it could be their job. But not because of the job. No, it's because they care. You know, but when you rebel against to help you, it's just like what God does for us. When you constantly rebel with what Jesus does for us, it doesn't mean that he's not going to be there, because the caring heart's always going to be there. It doesn't mean that he's not going to discipline you. That's how we have to think about it. I'm just kind of bothered about it. Yeah, it does make sense. When someone really loves you, they hate seeing you in a bad way. When human beings love each other, it's just regular stuff. They hate seeing another human in pain. You know, we don't like it, we despise it. So when other people are in pain, that they sit there and you want to help them out. I mean that you got love. You got God love. You don't want you to go to hell. And so when people cry and weep for people that when they die, they're not crying and weeping because they're dead. Well, they're dead. They're crying and weeping because they don't know where they're going to go. If everyone knew everyone was going to heaven, you wouldn't weep and cry. Not at all. If you already know where you're going, so crying absolutely. It's all going to defeat the purpose. That's when we start to notice. That's why people get so upset when people do wrong things, like stealing. It's like, why do you steal? You can work for your money. I don't want to work for money. I want to steal and act like I'm cool and them. Gobbity goo 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 badoo badoo badoo. So you want to steal on that because you want people to notice how fucking cool you are. That's what it is. You go against the system. You're not going against the system. You're going against God. And you don't notice that because you don't believe in God to begin with. So you don't notice that you are going against God. And that's what it is. It starts knocking on your head a little bit. You're all like, oh, is that true? Yeah. Of course that's true, bro. Or girl. Of course that's true. That's why you feel that way. You feel that way because you care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't feel that way. That's the thing is a lot of people that like they don't want to feel like if you love no matter what. You're born with a heart. You're born with caring. Sometimes love can be very, you know, draining to love someone that's that doesn't want to sit there and do the things you need to do. Why? Because I've been down that road myself. And when people care about you, they want the best for you. Yeah, I've never been a big working person that, I wish I was like I am now. I like working now. I just want to play video games all day. Well, I still play video games all day. Like, what's the difference? But having a job and that, it keeps you motivated. It keeps people, you get to know people, and you get to experience different things, and you get to go through certain things in your life that makes it better. And I said that's a good thing. That's what you should do. I think everyone should do that. Well, and it escapes the personal reality too. Because you're escaping something to make something of yourself. That's what money's there for. Money's to, encourage you to try to move up in the world that you live in. But when you sit there and you're always broke, you're always wasting all your money on stupid shit when you don't have to. It just lacks the possibility. And responsibility is kind of a hard thing for these other things. Most people just like they blow their money on stuff and accidentally like, oh, hey, don't fool me, fool me, loser. You're a loser. I learned that. I thought being a party person and stuff like that was cool. If I never did it. But I was in between, like, thinking that stupid shit. Find this one. Here comes a Zealot skill. Lance now stacks with traditional spiritual white pattern. So. Pretty cool. Yeah, I got all 3 arrows on. So I got like enormous amount of everything. I still wish they made the barbarian better, but unfortunately the whirlwind sucks. like the first Oh, I don't have a shield. I can't do shield back. These are good. Hammers are ridiculous. Hammers do that one. That one's actually really good. Here's a good shot. Oh, that's the 8. That's the okay. Okay. Pretty cool. Good. I'm liking that a lot. Yeah. But yeah, so as you were sitting there, like, kind of like conversating with this crap and that, you know, this person was getting like all upset and that, like, there's no need to get upset. Like, we're just. Like, you don't want people to help you because you don't think that you have issues or problems or stuff like that. Like, everybody's got issues and problems. We all do. spectrum, when you're not accepting help, you're just accepting that you have problems. That's pretty much it. And that's how people see it. People see that, and they notice that, and they respond to it. Like, you're getting mad, and this person was like saying, I'm just not going to show up today. Well, if you don't show up today, it's going to be a no-call, no-show. You can't just make up excuses, I can't come in because I'm emotionally butthurt over someone telling me to do my job. Like, that's the basis of it is. It's like, either you're going to do the job right, or try to at least get better with what you're doing wrong, which is like a more comical thing for everybody to do. Because, you know, me and my team, we're just talking about it now. Like, we all get stuck with people.
Locked.
Sitting there and getting fucking mad because they get disciplined outrageously a lot. And this person gets away with so much crap because they're super emotional. I said, well, if you're mentally ill and you got issues in that, then you shouldn't be working until you learn how to officially work. I get some people get mad and get emotionalized in that. I get it, you know, I've been down that road in that, but if you've been working in a place for over like a couple of years now, you should know the protocol. You don't come into work just for attention or just to make friends in that. You can. A lot of people hang out with each other for the most part in that. But most people, you know, I would say the most people that I do work with, well, they're all stoners and shit. They're all drinkers and potheads, and that's what it is. You know, I'm not about that life because that life's stupid to me. So to me, it's different. You know, I don't care about that stuff. You know, like, if I don't go out to a bar, I go out to a bar, I go out by myself, and I conversate with people around me, and not really a lot, but sometimes I do. Or some person, like probably some woman will try to like pick me up or something like that and ask me questions and shit. It kind of happens sometimes. Most times people are a little afraid of me talking to me. Well, that's just me. But yeah, it just... we were trying our best to course correct that. And it's not about hating or that, and it's like, yeah, we were, you know, saying something. I was like, you can't be on your phone. You get upset when you're sitting there. You get done with your job and that, and someone tells you to do something, and you just ignore them. And you ignore them because you think that you got benefits. You ignore them because you think you got favoritism. And then you say, well, I'm not favoritism. Yeah, that's what favoritism is. Actually, look at the word favoritism. It means being treated differently than everybody else. That's what favoritism is. Because you believe in stuff that is not godly. You believe in stuff that's not true. That's why you act like this. It's the only way. That's the only reason why you act like this. If you believe you're special, which, you know, in some ways you might be, you know. But that's what it is. The Christ conscious thing that people want to believe in, yeah, that's why you got issues. You think you're higher up than someone else. God specifically tells us that no one's good but Him. And people get mad at that stuff because they got too much pride. The Bible is very specific on why these things are bad for us. And then the ones that compare themselves to everybody, that's what they do. They want you to be like, oh, well, I'm better than you. And I said, how are you better than me? You gotta compare all, like 15,000 things. Like, what the fuck are you comparing?
Oh, we should get moving.
And that's what it is. Like, there's nothing to compare. You're just doing your job. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, and so now people are starting to understand that stuff has to be done because some people are not doing their jobs and just telling people because they're shy or scared. Like, no, speak your mind, show your authority when people do stuff that's ignorant toward you. God wants us to defend the innocent and get rid of the wicked, and that's the liars, that's the cheaters. That's the reason why, you know, we tell people to go to the Lord, to understand life and that, what it actually is. That's what the whole Bible is all about. It's all about redeeming yourself in the actual truth of God, the actual truth of the Word. Being loving, being caring, being obedient, being thrifty, being, you know, all these things that actually matter. And sometimes, you know, we fuck up in that, which people do. That's the whole point. It's a
Be careful!
I almost shot myself. But yeah, this is just the things that we have to go through, and we don't want to. And the faster you learn these things, the better off you are as a human. Cause like I've always been misjudged at work, and that every time I work in that, when I see lazy people, and then I see people that are not doing things, and I admit sometimes I'll stop doing stuff to like eat or to relax a little bit in that, because it's been a hard job. But like, it was my resolve. It was lack of respect, and it's always because, no offense, but every time I work with women, women tend to not respect men, especially nowadays. And it gets to the point where it gets really fucking nauseating. And like, I'll be sitting there like, oh, like, you don't want to respect men because you're a fucking and then they get mad because you call them out for the bullshit. Like, you need to start respecting everybody. Because I'm listening to this, I'm listening to this woman that I work with, and she's always saying she thinks that all guys are all trying to have sex with her. That's no, you are. That's because you're the one having sex with a lot of dudes. That's why you think that. You're just picking and choosing the dudes that you're banging. You don't want random guys. Well, but you're the one that's the pervert. You can't emphasize being a pervert unless you are a pervert. Like, you're a massive pervert. But I'll say that's okay. That's your life. That's what you're gonna do and do. If you get mad because people want to correct you, yeah, because that stuff doesn't do anything for you. It's all about the feel. Like, yeah, because you lack control over your own emotions. That's why you have issues. Person's always singing and just like people upset on and I want this person to get better than that because you can't be a reliable worker and you're constantly, everything and then and like the rage and the hatred in people levels so high. And you just tell them the way they're looking at it, it's like, why do you have so much rage in it? Like, you don't go anywhere, it's because you think that's supposed to go anywhere. There's certain... That's why you have to learn, there's certain rules and regulations to everything. You have to learn these things in a human being. You have to be respectful of the people, especially your boss. You have to respect your boss. I don't give a shit if you don't like the motherfucker or not. Respect doesn't mean you have to like the person. But not everybody's just a big piece of shit of person that because You fucking disagree with what they say. Okay, your main focus is to try to do your job, to try to be, you know, to honor the work that you have. You respect the money that you make. Like, if you don't respect the money that you make either, that's why you blow it all on stupid shit. And that's telling you why you don't respect things. Because you don't respect the money that you make. You don't respect the things that you do. That's why you normally push that I'm upset, I'm crying like a bitch shit. Yeah. That's where it all comes from. Because you're refusing something that you shouldn't be refusing. You're hating on something because of whatever reason it might be. Hatred doesn't do nothing for you but make it worse for you. People hate a lot. And people do. People always will be haters. But you can't be a hater, you have to be a lover. So people refuse love. They all go down the same path. Because they smoke a bunch of weed and that, they don't deal with stress, they don't deal with consequences, and then they get butthurt when consequences start to happen. They start yelling and screaming about the consequences. Why is it happening to me? It happens to everyone. No, it doesn't. It just happens to me. No, it happens to everybody. It's not just you. It happens to fucking everybody. And that's when they get mad and frustrated because they think it only happens to them. No, everybody else just learns their shit. You're just stupid. That's all it is. That's all it ever is. You're just a dumbass. That's why you do the things you do, because you're stupid. You don't know anything. That's why you get mad, because you don't know anything. That's why anyone gets mad. Because you don't know anything. Of course you're gonna be mad. Where's that? I think it was Topaz. It is Topaz. Okay, that's what I want. Yeah, you get better stuff. Basic vaccination.
Are your hands clean? Look, but don't touch.
Oh, Joey gives me fire resistance. I can only have one more. I think I got two more. Back and see what you really. Because I know there's one that gives me. Which one's this one? Let's just go with it. Damn it! Diamond. It's gonna be diamond then. Yeah, let's do diamond.
I'll see you again.
Let's get the all resistance. Okay. I don't think I can suck it. Well, I can't suck
Fair
it.
travels.
So far, so good. Your damage pretty weak right now. But yeah, like, I think I had. I don't know if I have to look at 6 or fucking at 8 today. I can't remember. Today's Saturday. My mom made Yeah, we're gonna see how this is gonna change though, so we don't know. Hey, you know what? It's the way work goes, you know. When I came in there, I want to make a change, and I'm making a change. I'm standing up for what's going on in that. I'm telling people, you know, you can't be doing all this crap and that. They get mad, they get frustrated. Well, it's not as fun as it used to be. Like, what do you mean it's not fun? Like, you're having fun all the damn time. It's just you're sitting there and you want too much. And the thing is, when you're getting involved with your work, and your work's lacking because of the stuff that you're doing, then that's a problem in itself, you know? That's just how it is. I know it's hard at first and that. I get it, you know. It is. It sucks. And it does. I'm not gonna lie about it. It sucks. You gotta do all these things that people get fucking mad at you over this stupid shit. Of course. Yeah, it sucks. You're gonna get mad. You're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna sit there and fucking hate on people. Yeah. I get it. But if you keep doing these things, it's gonna make it worse for yourself. And that's the problem. No one wants life to be harder for themselves. That's stupid. Somewhere. Okay, we'll do that. I can't do the mall. I have to get the mall now. That looks pretty cool. But this is how life is. Like, it's a constant learning thing. Like, I know people want to believe, you know, it's like when you get home and that, you do whatever you want to do. That's how life is at home, but outside of the house, you can't keep doing those things. But when you eventually do start to change slowly from actually being responsible and adult, you might start seeing some things that are just different. You feel different, you notice different things. You're starting to react differently. And it's like, yeah. You will change no matter what. And that's the biggest thing. People don't want to change for shit. People don't want to change. And they always ask, why do I have to change? Like, because you change no matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you do. You're going to change for the better or for the worse. Either choose the better or choose the worse. That's all you got. You can't just be the same person forever. You can't be the kid that doesn't do anything, that wants to play video games all day. You're gonna have to get a job. You're gonna have to work. Everybody's been working. All people work. Woman or man, it doesn't fucking matter. If you want to say it's just this and that, no, it's not just this and that. Unless you're married to a man because unfortunate, you're gonna have to get a job. You're gonna have to fucking work. You're gonna have to get off your ass and actually do shit. If you say other people don't, that other people are not you, and that's the course of direction that people like to take. Everybody else does this thing. It's not about everybody else. When you say those things, that means you're hiding, you're lying to yourself about what these people are. That's all you're doing. But yeah, this is how life is for everybody. It just sucks that you have to learn it. And it does suck. You have to learn this thing. You have to sit there and keep up postponing yourself. I've done it for years. That's why I'm talking about it. And using the word of God kind of corrected my wrongs. That's the reason why I do what I do as a person. 'Cause I'm correcting my wrongs. There's that running speed. Like, I look things from a perspective of non-anger and just getting shit done. Like, you look at it from just being angry. I'm angry. You have to understand my emotions, and what about me, and this, that. And you're all like, well, what about your emotions? Oh my god, you don't understand me. I understand you quite a bit, you're an idiot. I understand stupidity. That's kind of the point. And that's what it all comes down to. You don't want her. I mean, you're talking about him, Matt, and you're like, yeah, I do understand it. Yeah, I told some people my whole life story in that because I want to stop them. people, when you know someone's full-on life story in it, you know what they've been through, that they have to give you some sort of respect. It's like, okay, you've been through a lot, man. Everybody goes through shit. Not that conversation. I mean, that's just how it is. Everyone has stories about their life. You don't stay that child forever, and some people believe that they're supposed to. That's because you're undisciplined and stupid. That's all it is. You don't know anything of the actual real world. You just establish some bullshit, and you get mad at everybody else for not understanding. No, they understand you. It's just entirely. They just don't fucking care because it's not important to them. That's all it is. And people get mad about that stuff. I'm like, why are you getting mad for? It's just how it is. Like, there's some days I'm late for work and that. There's some days I'm not. And I'm always fucking massively late for work. You know? Or I am late for work. I know that now. But I have a sense of respect. They call me because they know that they need me. But they still go through and still be like, okay, well, I'll still push through. But we're having, you know, upper management that's been, you know, around for a while. And they're getting upset because nothing's getting done. Like, well, you guys aren't doing anything. You guys aren't talking it out. You guys aren't trying to negotiate with people. You want to sit there and just kind of shy away from it and think it's going to heal itself. I say, you know, healing takes initiative. It takes action. You're not just going to be like, oh, one day they're going to appear and be like, I'm done being a fucking twat waffle. I'm done being a scaredy cat or a child. I said I wish it was like that, but it doesn't happen like that. You can't change nothing unless you say something about it. That's why the word means so much. Change happens with hearing through your ears. A lot of people don't hear through their ears because they refuse to hear. They don't want to hear. Hearing's good. People are loud and this all the time. And sometimes you can, you know, but when it comes down to certain things, that you have to listen. That's how you know a person has mental issues. That they're not resolving things because they don't fucking listen. That's what's happening with this person now. This lady is refusing to listen. She just establishes that she knows something before that you know it's done, which I can kind of see that you can have a perspective. Sometimes your perspective doesn't matter. Just listen. Yeah, but they always want to rebel. And I'm like, why do you want to rebel so much? Because you're listening to people that rebel. That's why you rebel. Who you hang around with matters a lot. But no one might say that. Yeah, no, it matters a lot. It does.
I never thought I'd be throwing my lot in with this rabble, but here I am.
And that's kind of the problem that we
Maybe
have to
I
go
can
through.
organize these bandits
It's like this
into
person will
something
just
that
live
resembles
her
an
life like
effective
this
unit.
until she eventually understands that she
At
has
least
to
effective
listen.
enough to allow me an escape when the church
She has to
eventually
listen to
finds
criticism.
us.
She has to listen to, you know, that shit happens in life. You can't just keep on saying that, no, I'm right, you're wrong. It was just like, but you're not doing it though. And that was the whole point of going through all this. This is where everybody goes through it. And I blame the parents for it, because the parents aren't disciplining their children in the traditional way anymore. Accountability is very low. Yeah, because your parents don't take accountability. That's what it is. Someone in your family doesn't take accountability, not even does. That's exactly why there's problems. Even with why marriages fail now. Like, marriage fails because someone has to take, both parties have to take accountability of their actions, have to negotiate with each other. People don't do that. It's like, oh, it's not my fault, it's your fault. It's not my fault, it's your fault. It's not my fault, it's your fault. And that's the reaction that they always like to take place. I say, well, whose fault is it then? That's all I hear is a gigantic fart. It's not my fault, it's his fault. No, they do. The mature one's gonna come out and say, well, I try to do better. That's all the mature person is gonna say. I try to do better, and the person is just a fucking idiot. This is why I tell a lot of men that don't date women, and women don't date men that don't know how to respond to things they do wrong. If they don't know how to respond to things they do wrong, there's no point even being with that person.
Don't just stand there. Help me. Bless you. Wouldn't have made it without you. Don't just stand there. Help me. Will you help me, stranger?
But yeah, I mean, dude, this is where a lot of people have issues in that. It's always the same thing. And I've been noticing that. It's like, it's okay. You're gonna have issues in that. You're gonna fall on your face sometimes. It's just how life is. You can't expect life to constantly be fair for you if it's not going to. It never never will be. If life was always fair, then we would have, you would have everything to do all of the time. You constantly have all the money you want now. And I tried explaining to one of the younger guys that was with me, now he's like, 27 was that much happier. I'm like, okay. I said, but I gave him an example. I said, if you were a millionaire person, to become a millionaire, you have to work probably 3 times harder than everyone else to get out of that kind of money. You have to invest the money in something that you understand a lot more than what you do now. If you don't understand really fucking shit, you don't understand stocks and bonds and financial fucking capability, you don't get it. You just have the money at the time because you made a couple $1,000 a fucking paycheck in that, or $1,000, or a couple, like $1,500 per paycheck. Yeah, everybody does that shit. Is life easier because you make more money? To a certain extent, yeah. The world life is always going to be easier. Of course. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how life is. But what are you gonna do about it? You're gonna just sit there and just like, oh, well, like this person wants to be this player. Act like he's gangster and shit, wants to be the rapper and okay. Like my friend's rapping that, okay, your friend's rapping that. Cool. What do? You work at Taco Bell, bro. You know why your friends do that stuff? It's because they put their heart into it and they say, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. They start getting beats. They start understanding how to use synthesizers and all that crap online and that, because you can just you can just get an app that gives you all that shit nowadays. They're understanding stuff, they're training themselves now. Yeah, it takes time. Thinking about it is fine, doing it's better. Actions always speak way more than you talk about it. It's good to talk about it because you initiate it through thought and you speak it through the tongue. And a lot of times when you speak it through the tongue, you don't even want to act on it. Doesn't mean you always will, no, it depends. But it's still at least some type of way of telling yourself. I always talk about, well, I like fitness and that. I want to get stronger in that. So I talk about it. I talk about it. And I go forward with it. I know I don't have to lift weights every single day to get big muscles. My muscles are getting bigger, and I lift probably like maybe 2 to 3 times. And I'm noticing the difference because I'm just bigger. I'm stronger. Yeah, so I try to talk about with that stuff, and I'm like, being rich is good, but see, you want to live a life of all this sin and that, you want to have all these bitches around you and all that stuff and that, all this crap and that, I'm like, that's not what life's about. You think that way because that's what you follow, that's what you believe in. That's why belief is very serious. You either believe in the truth or you believe in the nonsense. You believe in nonsense, you walk the path of everybody else. When everybody else is walking the same path that you're walking, you become a nobody. Then no one knows you for real. You're not taking the path that it's narrow. You're not taking the path that's hard to take. You're just not. I always tell young people that when I was your age, I thought the same way. Chasing booty and shit, you know, like that, man. Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't do anything. I said all you're doing is hurting yourself. It doesn't do anything. It never does anything. Like, my biggest dream is I always want to have a manor. I always want to bring in people together and that. Be like, you know, cherish people and that, understand people and that. That's my thing. I always want to give people that. If I have stuff to give, I would love to give it. Unfortunately, you know, I can't give a ridiculous amount. Every now and then I buy stuff for showing that I care. And occasionally I do it. Like the other day I bought like little like sodas and that for people now. You know? And I did it out of love. It wasn't because I just did it because, oh, well, I'll make you be like most people want to assume. Oh, you did it because you're just getting favored and that. Like, no, I do it because I love people, man. I'm not such a fucking evil shit that wants to sit there all day and just fucking complain and not do anything about it. No, some people are like that. Some people don't want, you know, that push. They say, well, it's just how people are. Yeah, I might get ready for work and going a little early today. Big ass stretch. Stretch as always. Always gotta stretch out. Yeah, but the reason why I like talking about this stuff like is it's not just for myself, which does help out a lot. It's for other people that don't understand life. And so you have to understand life through the means of life itself. If life was created, which a lot of people believe that it is, then understand through the creator how life is. That's it. If the creator is giving you advice, Jesus is giving you advice because he is the word of God. He is the creator. He made things because he's the word. Then more or less likely you're going to go right down the right path. You know, does everyone follow every single thing that Jesus says? You should. Is it hard? Yes. It's never easy. He never said it was easy. But the biggest thing that a lot of people tend to want to understand the most, can everybody be saved just with belief alone? You know, I'm like, okay, well, I truly believe in my heart . that if you're trying to do your best to have faith, and you're trying your best to understand, I truly believe that's good enough. If you're trying to change your life, and you're trying, because life's never going to be perfect for anybody. Demons don't care. Demons will keep on haunting you and haunting you and haunting you until the day you die. That's why people have so much hatred in their heart. You don't think, I have hatred in my heart now because of this and this. No, you have hatred in your heart now because demons look for that hatred. They look for that weakness. Like you say, like, okay, when you hold a grudge against someone, do you really believe that you really want to hold a grudge against someone? Because holding a grudge means you get guilty, you get anxiety, that you start to build up hatred for that person. You got to ask yourself, why do I hate that person? You know, and normally the first thing that happens. What's the first thing that always happens? I hate someone because of blah 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 blah. Are you making up the reason why you hate people on that? Number one, they have more than me. That's your own damn fault. Work more. Learn how to budget your money more. So is it truly hatred upon someone else, or just hatred upon you, and you're just reacting it because you're too damn lazy, and you lie about it, which these are all sins. This is the reason why God talks about it. And you refuse to change it. Well, you have a choice, which you need to learn. Choices are upon your own. And this is the reason why, like, people that I talk about from my job and that young lady I talk about that's what the problem of it is. You lack responsibility. You don't want to choose. You want to just react to everybody else's choices besides your own. Yes, you can do things, but you make it really small. Like, okay, well, what do I do in my life in that? Well, at least I take a fucking shower, you know? I take a shower and that, okay, well, what else do you do in your life? You can say, well, I don't know. Okay, well, if you drink and smoke and you do drugs and that's not good for you. A lot of other people do it. That's exactly what people say. That's what demons always say. A lot of other people do it, but you shouldn't do it. That requires a narrow path. You shouldn't do it because it's not good for you. When someone says it's not good for you, it's because they've probably already been through it. But see, like, the person that's hanging around, that this person's hanging around with, is it for? She's satanic. She believes in the zodiac. She believes in the pantheon of gods and that. Even though that, like, her heritage is Catholic, she's more Christian, heritage-wise. But she believes in all these things. And I said, what corrupted you the first time? Oh, because your first hate was because you hated someone in your family because they got more than you. They got more attention than you. That's where it started. Like, okay. So, it always starts like that. Your hatred starts, your dislike starts because someone gets more attention than you, because this is how families seem to fail. You give everyone equal attention. Some people don't want attention as much. Sometimes they do. But that's where it all starts. That's what started with me. That's why I went down my path. Because I was the third child. You know, I didn't get as much attention as my, I got attention from my mom a lot. I didn't get attention from my dad a lot because my dad gave my older brother more attention. That's just how it is. So I became more sensitive. I became more ignorant. And I became less masculine. And that's what it was. And as it became less masculine, You know, instead of working and doing my job as a man, which is more serious than a woman, because I have to work, I have to maintain strength and stability. You know, I lost chances of being married. I lost chances of having a woman. I made up excuses. I still make up excuses today. But most of them are very small compared to how they used to be. I like working. And here's why I like working. People say, well, you know, I don't like working. I like working because it helps other people out. It makes me happy to see that I can help people go through bad times at work. So when I come in, I do my job. I came in yesterday. They were getting their asses kicked. I did my job. I did everything that I knew to make it easier for them. I worked faster. I kept things in line. I did my job. And then the rest of the day was easy. It wasn't hard. And then it piled up again. You know, like midway through, just a little bit. It wasn't hard, it was just a little bit of it. You know, because people weren't communicating as much. You know, and we were talking about this not work-related shit, we were bringing up bullshit and that. And so we learned from it. Because we were all sitting there doing other things that there was too many people on the damn line that. And people weren't responding to certain things. And so we lacked in time, and then okay. And we were wondering why, what was going on. We're like, what was going on? That the person wasn't keeping up with that. They were too busy. They were trying to talk and not work too. They were talking the whole damn time. They weren't just trying. They're just like outbursting all these emotions. That okay, fine, but you have to work too. You get to sit there like, oh well, I'm gonna quit working after I can talk. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. And you're sitting there like, dude, how about you do your? It's like, come on, get shit going. That. I know you lack focus in that because you're all over the place, which is fine. You can move fast, but without focus, your speed means absolutely nothing. Like when I get on the line, I try to focus on task at hand, and then I do a little bit of talking here and there for attention. In between me making orders and that, yes. But I try to get stuff done that. And I was looking at the person that was sitting there, you know, working that. They were making food and that, but they weren't like multi-making food. So what are you doing? Like you gotta start something. I always train people like when you're starting at the job where I'm working at. I work at Taco Bell and that. And I'm just sitting there like, okay. I try to analyze it through a time frame. Always through a time frame. I train myself in this for like since forever, since I was a little kid. Timing is everything. Because if you get timing down, you can be able to sit there and have a relaxed time too. Which is occasionally what I do. Sometimes I sit down for like a minute or two and that. You know, if dishes are done, stuff's cleaned up and that, I relax myself because I do it in a good time frame. Other people, they don't keep track of time. As soon as their job's done, their focus is never on the job all the way. It's always on something else. They split their focus. So if they're worried about texting someone because they're attentionated as fuck, which, you know, you're young, you're stupid and that, you're going to be attentionated like that. You're going to mess up probably a little bit more. And then you're going to learn, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. And then there's always someone that has to come in and take the responsibility to do more work because of your lack of work. Because it's a business. So when someone doesn't want to do something, someone else has to do it. So let's say like right now, I'm a line person. My job is to maintain the line. That's it. That's my job throughout the whole entire damn day. But guess what I do? I do other things. I wipe down stuff. I grab trays on my. I do a little bit of lobby work and I do a little bit of this. I do a little bit of that. You know, I help out with certain things and that. You know, just little things here and there. Try to help support this, support that, support this. I do a lot of dishes and that because no one else wants to do that. They're very, content on talking with everybody. Fine, I understand. I'm all owner when it comes to that. I'll do the dishes now. I don't care. But it's not in my job. Because that's what we're doing. We're going through the guidelines of job in that. And my guidelines is to maintain clean up my area, maintain how much food's in my area, constantly keep it stocked, keep the stuff stocked so I can be able to use it, like the wraps or the anything that I have to put the food on. That's my job. Line job is pretty damn easy. But no one wants to do that because it's the anxiety of getting stuff done fast. So they don't want to do it. Okay, I can see that. I understand that. But I like it. I like being in a rush. I like to be able to sit there and be like, okay, let's get it done. And we're making better times. Our overnight's making better times than that. We're increasing in profit in that. We're doing things right because we're enabling it. Our service people are being nicer than that. They're being funnier than that. We're understanding that, you have to communicate with the customer that. And that's the one faulty thing that this other person doesn't do. Her communication is, she can fake it really good, but her natural spirit is very hateful. And that's one of the things that's the most hardest thing to change. Is the act of God. Yeah, Jesus will have to be the one. God will have to be the one to implicate the change. And it started with what happened yesterday. The criticism was very small. And she got criticized again before that. Because how she treated me. And it's like, why you, number one, when you're angry, you bring out anger towards everybody else. Now, you could just go home. It's the most immature thing in the fucking world to do. It's to constantly pout and yell. For what? Why are you yelling for? No one wants to listen to me. My opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter when you're wrong. That's where your opinions don't matter. Opinions come down if they're right or wrong. If your opinions are wrong and someone corrects you, then you have to accept. If you don't accept it, that just means that you're stupid. You don't understand why those things happen. That means that your mind can't comprehend what's actually going on. That means you need to do more research. You need to get smarter in that. You need to understand stuff more. If you walk around life like a fucking dit-da-da, you're gonna stay a dit-da-da. People are not gonna respect you. People are not gonna like you. And the people that do like you are not gonna be the ones that actually want you to get better. They're gonna want you to be stupid. They want you to be ignorant. And I'm always gonna say that's kind of the point. They don't want you to understand because they like it when you're stupid. Some people want people to be stupid for a reason. Because stupid people are easy to control. Smart people understand that they're being controlled, so they stay away. I learned that multiple times. I said, of all the times that I try to sit there and be nice to people and that, trying to gain favoritism or even try to get into a relationship with, some of the girls and that, I wasted so much money. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself in that, I'm going to learn from this mistake. Never again. I don't care. I'm better off by myself because I'm happier with myself. I can always have people to talk to now because people always run around me. People always come around me. And I start noticing it because I speak the fucking truth. With truth, always. Truth always comes friendship. Because no one likes a fucking liar. No one likes a fucking hater. No one likes an asshole of a person. Nobody does. It does not matter what a person fucking says. People despise hateful people. Why do they do that? It's because it's pretty fucking obvious. No one likes a piece of shit person. We just despise it as people. But people have to call it out. Because God demands us to fight against the untrustworthy. To fight against the wicked people that lie. And truth always prevails. When you speak the truth about something, they cannot hide it. They have to respond to it. If it's negative or not, they have to respond to it. If they respond to it in a negative way, then God can condemn them because they're being negative, because they're not doing what is right. It's all about choices. You know, like it says in Psalm 6, and I love this verse. This verse really hits me hard. God doesn't like these people. It says God, the Lord, hates these people. He hates the way they act. It's the act of the person. Not the person itself. It's the act of the person. He goes by the heart. So if someone is sitting there and they lie all the time and that, you know why they have demons? Because God doesn't like you. Okay? You're an idiot. You're disrespectful. Until you learn how to respect yourself and respect others, then your life starts to change. That's why these things matter when you're younger. My parents always taught me to respect people, even if I don't like them. Did I go through a phase of disrespecting people? Of course I did. I was a feminist man. Yeah, I was. I was a puss boy. And I'm not gonna lie about it, because I've been through it. I never saw the logic of why things happen. I just respond to my feelings and not understand the logic behind it. I didn't like to listen. I just like to respond to whatever I was assuming that day. And I have to say, this is exactly what this young lady is doing at work. She's just responding without listening. And the person that she's hanging around with does the same thing. Pure hatred, pure angry. If things don't go my way, I get mad. But anger doesn't do anything. Anger never solves problems, Matt. You can't change people by force. It has to be changed by yourself. I changed myself for the better, not because I didn't like the way my life was. I didn't like it. I didn't like all the complaining. I didn't like all the sitting there and pouting and crying. My life's so bad. Because the excuses were always the same. For me and for everybody else that does the same thing. I blamed everybody else besides myself. And I did blame myself. I never looked for the solution. Oh, I already had the solution in my head. Get a job. That's all it was. Get a job. Make money. Stop being lazy. Get up. Pull up your bootstraps. People hate hearing these things. I said, real men pull up their bootstraps, which means be brave, be tough, do the right thing. That's all that ever means. Do the right thing. Don't let people hinder you. Don't let people disrespect you. Especially when you're doing the right thing. That's what it is. You know that you're doing right, and someone disrespects you. Sometimes it's best just to tell them off and say, hey, I'm doing my job, bro. That's it. But if they keep on disrespecting you, then you just sit there. You can't talk it out to them. What do? You go to your management and you talk to your management. Hey, this person's disrespecting me, and I'm trying to do my job and that. And now they're saying stuff that's not true about me, and I'm like, I'm not working with this motherfucker. Like, this person can literally just leave, knock their hours back, because I know I can't do my job in full when I'm hearing the whispers of demons talking bullshit behind my back. And I think a lot of people work with that shit, because I work with it every time I work. I said, your life is so boring that you have to sit there and talk so much crap. And it could be somewhat true, but most times it's not, because it's just, that's what crap talking is. And then you want to respond with, you talk a bunch of shit too. No, I tell exactly what it is. There's truth and there's not truth. I said, I talk about how people work. And that's one of the things, I would love to have an argument with this woman again about it. Like, I speak what you do, not what you don't do. You want to educate all kinds of stuff in that. So I don't like working with women that are feminists. Feminist women always want to say men are always wrong no matter what they say because I believe in that. Okay. Then men are always wrong, then you should be fired from every job because most men own those businesses. We'd be better off just with all men working like we used to back in the old days. Why? Because women always want to interrupt men because they want fucking attention. And they do it all the damn time. You're attention-seeking creatures. Okay, get a boyfriend. Oh, I have a boyfriend. Do you? Well, he's not my boyfriend. We just fuck every now and again. So you just want to fuck everything in sight and not be committed. So if you're not committed to a boyfriend or to a husband, that means you can't be committed to yourself. If you're not committed to yourself, then how the fuck are you gonna learn anything when you never know that you do anything wrong? It's wrong to be in a relationship that's open. It's wrong to sit there and have just a sex partner without commitment. That's why the generation, the next generation coming up right now that I'm working with, most of them think this way. I said, okay, if you think this way and you think it's right, then why is your life so miserable? And they get all butthurt. I don't have enough drugs in my system to deal with this. I said, the drugs in your system have nothing to do. It's with accountability and learning. If you don't know how to accountable yourself and say, yeah, I fucked up, and you make up excuses, you know what excuses actually are? They're fucking lies, so you cannot want to commit that you did something wrong. That's what demons do. Demons don't think they did anything wrong. Fallen angels don't think they did anything wrong to God. They just disobeyed him. But they still don't think they did anything wrong. Lucifer still thinks you done wrong to me, even though he's the one that started the pride. He's the one that started the fall. And act like the Father and all the angels that known him for eternity didn't weep when they saw him fall. They did. God wept. Because he's like, you done it to yourself. I gave you everything and anything. You saw the glory of me. You saw the glory of everything. You know the glory of me. You know the love that I give to you. But you still chose to rebel because you are a fucking, I can't say you're a fucking, you are, so prideful, so hateful towards me, the Creator. I gave you life, and you still disrespect me enough to fall. To ask questions is fine. It is disobedience to a certain extent, especially talk about God. But that's what it is. And the one thing that other mortals don't understand, angels were all created at once. They all had the edge of knowledge of God. They all know who God was. They all know everything about the Holy Spirit, everything about Jesus, everything about the Father, God and all. They knew it. They knew about His love. They knew about His glory. They don't eat because they're spirits. They don't drink because they're spirits. They don't have sex because they're spirits. At least for what terminology. They have genitalias, but they don't act on it. Free will does happen to that. But in heaven, you don't have sin, so you're not going to lust because you're with God. You're pure. You become purified. Down this world, that to be pure is to stay in faith. But we're going to shutter ourselves because of the fall. It's nearly impossible to not sit there and do something. And these are the things that we have to deal with all the time. That's when we talk to someone that is rebelling, they're doing the same thing that Lucifer did. They're rebelling. But the thing is with humans, when humans rebel, we learn. We try to change because we have hearts. We want to love more than we want to hate. People want to say, I hate. I say, what's wrong with loving people? Love is weak. I say, love is weak? Then why are you so weak then I'm so strong? And they get mad. Like, I said, see, the thing is, love is an internal peace that de-stressinizes you when you get stressful. When you get stressful, I pray. And guess what happens? I speak this every single time I talk about this in all my streams. When I pray, things change. The atmosphere changes. Every single time I even whisper Jesus Christ, it changes everything. Why? Because it was written. The Lord has power in the Word. Uttering His name has to give respect to the spirit world. Has to be respected. It's not if or but. No, it has to be respected. That's what faith is. I give that name massive respect. Even though I falter sometimes, even though I fall, I get right back up and I still yell at that name. I still ask for forgiveness. I still take my anxiety away. Lay me to rest. Take me from my wicked ways. Speaking these words comes from the heart, and the heart changes when you speak these words because you feel the gentleness of God. That is what people don't understand how God works. I feel the gentleness of God. I feel it in my heart. It feels smoothing, nice, peaceful, like you could take a breath without stress at all. And there's sometimes I just give everything away. All my worries, I blank my mind out. My heart starts pumping. And it happened multiple times before. I start to see clearly now. I start to see more clearly. Is it hard to do? Yes. It's hard to give all your worries away. It's hard to not worry about things to a certain extent. But as you get closer to understand how it works with Christ, then you start to understand that He is your sponge. You give Him everything. You give Him everything, and He tells you not to worry. And He does. Every single time. He tells you not to worry. He tells you, I will lay you to rest. All your worries are mine. He shelters us from the demons. Because the demons have to obey. When the angels come down and they get the order, they'll say, in His name you will obey. They have to obey. They have to leave. This is the difference between people that believe in Satanism that do the whole demon thing. Demons know they don't have much power. Because all they have to do is sit there and it's like, okay, There's certain people we can attack in that, okay. But when someone gains high faith and they get stronger in that with faith, they know to stay away. When people change their minds around and they go by the Word of God, they change their faith to understand God's Word. Once you understand God's Word and you give faith to Lord Jesus Christ, nothing can harm you. The demons can't do nothing. If demons can make humans do stuff, yeah, but demons themselves can't do nothing towards you. And when you have especially high faith, which, I learned from the witches and the satanic people that, talk about this stuff, they actually, they believe in Christ now that they vengeance themselves from the demons now. They say they're called the burning ones, that nothing can touch them, nothing can harm them. They literally have like a flock of angels around them all the time, defending them. They cannot get near them. When demon spirits get close, they just they vanquish them. basically just, shoot them away like flies. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's the faith. And you're hearing this from people that are witches, that are satanic people now. So people that are these people in that, they believe in the pantheon, they believe in all these witchcraft things because they think they hold power. I say, your power is not hold because of you yourself. You don't have power. You're being granted a power, but your power doesn't mean shit to the creator. That's why it's called creator. They want you overpowered. Why do you want to rebel against God? Well, he's this and that and this and that. So your greediness is the reason why you rebel against God. God gives stuff just like Satan gives stuff. But God's stuff is at a period of time of understanding, which it says in the Bible. If you're not ready for it, God doesn't bless you with it. He gets you ready for it. That's how it works. So he puts you through a trials. He sets a path for you. And immediately the angels set the path up. Everything gets set up. From where you started, when you start praying that, to when you start to go through it, that the plan's already set up. And when you start to know the plan of it, then you start to understand it. Like, I mean, I'm a natural born leader. I love leading people. Because I'm trustworthy, I'm loving, and I want to be caring. And with that, I go through respect. The actual truth of what you do wrong. Not to nullify it and say it's this and that. No, the actual truth. Anyway, I gotta get going now. I gotta take a big ass piss. I gotta go to work. Anyway, you guys have a good day, night. God bless. And keep it going. Don't ever stop praying.